Good evening, fantasy football fans. How are we feeling today? We have the annual National Fornication League playoff bracket, and we have all our bowl games. All of it will be covered here on this channel, on this newscast. I am your host, Benjamin D. Dover, but you can call me Ben Dover for short. We're going to be going over every single matchup, every single bowl game, getting one-on-one exclusive interviews with every coach. We're going to be going through it all, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Before we talk about this extensive playoff bracket going on right now, let's get into the two bowl games we have for week 16. We have the Kainoa Bowl and the Toilet Bowl. Kainoa Bowl being played for who gets that top 5 position. The Toilet Bowl being played for who does not take last place in the league this very year. Let's get into it. We have a one-on-one interview that we secured via Zoom with Coach Flaky, and let's get right into it. How are you doing, Coach Flaky, and how are you feeling going into the 4th annual Toilet Bowl? Do you feel any nerves, anything going into the season that you want to reflect on? Please just take this time and use it. Oh, fuck. I mean, obviously the season's been utter dog shit, you know. Everything that could have possibly not gone my way did not go my way. You know, had to struggle through injuries. I think week 3 I had fucking 6 guys on my IR. Thank God our league commissioner put 3 IR spots up, so at least I can house 3 of them. 3 of them just went straight into unemployment. So, you know, I'm not used to this. First year of this league's foundation, I won the whole championship. Next year I finished 4th, and then next year I finished the regular season number 1 with the best record the league's ever seen at 10-3. Obviously not anymore, but yeah, and then just to go from that into a straight last place season is pretty disgusting. But we hit rock bottom this year, so whatever we do next year, it can't possibly get any worse. So it kind of fires me up for next year. We put a lot of effort into this draft, and you know, shit just hit the fan early. We drafted 3 fucking years before the season started. It did not make any sense at all. So a couple of my guys got injured before the season even fucking started. Like, we're gonna see what we can do in this Toilet Bowl. Hopefully we can put up some points. My final score prediction is probably gonna be like, I'll probably put up like 90, and then my opponent's probably gonna put up like 85. It's probably gonna be a close one. Still gonna be an absolutely terrible game. Still gonna sum up what the Toilet Bowl is perfectly, but that's how it's going to go. I'm feeling good. I'm just hoping it goes my way. It's really resting all on the line with Taysom Hill on Thursday. Really hoping that he puts up good numbers, and really hope it's going to be good to me this year and I don't end up losing this game and finishing last in the league. Thank you. Wow, thank you, Coach. Very insightful. You know, he sounds like the kind of dumbass that would draft Jerry Jeudy in the 3rd round. Alrighty, so next up we got the next head coach, Audie, who emailed the studio today his questionnaire. We asked him a series of 3 questions. We're going to play it right now.
Here's the answer to the first question. Obviously, when you know my team, I drafted at the end of the day. I put myself in the position to, you know, be here. We dealt with a lot of injuries, obviously, and I still am confident in my team, you know, to produce for me when it comes to, you know, the Toilet Bowl. And, you know, obviously I'm not happy to be here. That's not what I anticipated at the beginning of the year when I drafted my team. And, you know, my team really got some boom ability, you know. We got Devontae Adams, you know, could turn it up any given week. You know, have Saquon, could also turn it up any given week. Shout out to my team. Thank you for my supporters. Thank you for my haters. Y'all just motivate me. Best of luck to Nathan in the Toilet Bowl, you feel me? And, you know, best of luck to my team, obviously. Past this point, we got no control, but we'll see what the future holds. You know, Nathan's team is something to look at, you know. Obviously came this season very proud, made some very questionable picks, you know. Jerry Jeudy in 3rd round. I'm a Broncos fan. I'll never do that shit in my life, you feel me? And it's just like, you know, obviously you never know, bro. He has a Amon-Ra St. Brown, and we know what that man is capable of. And I'm sure he has a lot of other good players on the team that can potentially boom against me this week. At the end of the day, it's Nathan Hayward, you know. It could work out for him, it could not, so we'll see how it goes, but fuck Nathan Hayward.
We're going to do you all a favor and cut it off right there. Let's finally talk about this bracket you all have been waiting for me to talk about. We have a very stereotypical playoff here. We have the semi, finals for the Glory Bowl. We have the 1, 2, 3, and 4 seed in it. The 5 and 6 have unfortunately dropped out, and they will be competing in the Kainoa Bowl. Let's talk to those coaches. Here is Tim Stevenson. The reporting done in this clip is done by our lead reporter, Pauline.
Thank you, Al. Thank you for coming. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and open the floor to any questions you guys may have. I'm looking forward to answering your questions. Thank you again for your time.
Mr. Stevenson, Stevenson,
yes,
over
you're in the
here.
front. Yes.
How are you feeling about your team going into the first official Kainoa Bowl?
Okay, yeah, the Kainoa Bowl, it's a wonderful establishment. You know, it's run by the best in the league. I can't thank the commissioner enough. And, you know, the Kainoa Bowl, it's where the best of the best go for 5th, right? You know, you don't get any better, you don't get any worse. And I'm looking forward to bringing my talents against Spencer for sure, yeah.
So how are you feeling about your opponent Spencer's team?
Spencer's, he's trash. You know, their future, you know, career path, it's going to lead them to nothing, right? They're a bunch of nobodies. I'm not worried about them. They have 1 or 2 good wideouts, but, you know, look at the rest of their team compared to my team. They're nothing. So, you know, hey, all due respect, but I'm expecting to take this one.
Mr. Stevenson.
Yes, back there, please.
What is your final score prediction?
Final score prediction? It's a good question. Like I just said, Spencer's team, you know, he's got a few guys every now and then. You know, he can do his thing. Final score though, I'm gonna go 124 to 109. Tim Tebow's Bible Study Group. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for your time. I hope you all take care. Enjoy the show. Thank you.
Mr. Stevenson,
Thank you.
Mr. Stevenson,
No more. Thank you.
Thank you, Pauline, for such wonderful questions. Very insightful, and we got all the answers we needed to. Let's look across the board at our 5 seed, Spencer. Let's see how his interview is going to look. Once again, we're going to be hopping on Zoom with him. Let's get right into it.
I have confidence that my players did their jobs this weekend. We're coming in as the underdogs this week against a very strong opponent who could very much embarrass us with ease. But I have faith in my team that we're not going to take this moment for granted. I'm sure they're just like me, that they're thrilled to be in the situation to play in the Kainoa Bowl, because at the beginning of the season, it didn't look like we would have a chance to be able to compete in this game, let alone to be in the playoffs. Now, of course, it would have been great to be able to continue our fight for the Glory Bowl. Yes, but shit happens, and we're thrilled that the opportunities were given to us because there were much more deserving teams that could have been in our situation.
I mean, your team was really hot, but I think last week helped the whole world figure out that you guys are a bunch of frauds. You know, Tyreek Hill doesn't play, and all of a sudden you guys can't play football anymore. How do you respond to those allegations, especially going into such a significant bowl game, such as the Kainoa Bowl, where you're fighting for that top 5 position?
Everyone in our organization is hopeful for the return of key players such as Tyreek Hill and Josh Jacobs, but we've had players step up in their absences, such as Ty Chandler last week, who really were hoping that they can continue their performance this week.
Yeah, there's no denying that your team could be in a really rough spot player-wise going into this game, especially when you're facing off against another player fighting for that top 5 position. How do you feel about your opponent, Tim, going into this game?
In our previous meeting, my team was able to pull out with the victory, but that was only because most of his players were on bye week that week. You know, with most of his team back this week for the game, I really do hope that we're able to pull it out.
Pause. I guess all the people would want to know from here is, what are your final score predictions for this game? How is the first annual Kainoa Bowl going to finish in your eyes?
I'm not one for listening to predictions in this league. We were listed as favorites last week. But final score predictions wise, I hope we come out with a win. You know, let's hope that for a 120-point victory, not above him, we score at least 120 points. There we go. But hey, I'm happy to be playing here in this level anyway. Thank you all for coming.
I know all you viewers are going to flood my Twitter for my predictions for who is going to move on to the Glory Bowl. Well, here they are. Obviously, I have Q moving on and beating Vishal. He is going to win. He is going to be in the Glory Bowl. It's going to be a very tough upset for him to swallow if he ends up losing to Vishal. Whereas on the other side, we have a more close game between Johnny and Owen. My bet is going to be on Owen, who has just consistently found a way to win throughout the year. Obviously not the best team. It's very strange how he ended up in the 2 seed, but he's there for a reason. His team found a way to win. He drafted Justin Jefferson, played a significant amount of the year without his #1 draft pick, similar to what Nathan Hayward experienced, but the rest of his team obviously didn't make up for it because they're all, terrible. Owen was able to have players that won when it mattered, picked up the slack, and I think that is going to get him to the Glory Bowl. We are going to have a classic 1 seed, 2 seed matchup, and that is my prediction, Benjamin D. Dover. Now, who wins the Glory Bowl? I think obviously it still has to be Q's team. 13-1 has never been seen before, and I have to pick him. My final score prediction, his team's going to put up 144 to Owen's team putting up 120. It's going to be a high-scoring championship game, and overall, his name is going to be at the trophy at the end of the year. Remember the name, Q. All right, fans, here is Hugh Janus with the fantasy football odds going into these 2 major bowl games. Let's roll it.
What is up, my fellow Americans and fellow people of our country? We got 2 bowl games this week. We got the Toilet Bowl with Nate and Audie himself duking it out for last place. As you can see, we got Lions here. Now I know what you're thinking. Wow, that's a small spread for this game. Nate's team is terrible. Well, 8.5 points for this game might as well be 30 points. These 2 teams suck. Now, the second game, we got the Kai Noah Bowl, and this is actually a fun game. We got 2 quality teams going out there, expecting a lot of points. Now, what you're probably thinking is, wow, this is a 6.25 point spread. That's almost similar to the Toilet Bowl. Well, in this game, 6.25 points might as well just be like 2 points. I mean, you're going to get a lot of points in this matchup. And this matchup between Tim and Spencer, it's going to be real fun to watch. And yeah, these are the odds for the 2 bowl games this week.
Alright, fans, the next time you will be hearing from me will be when we have our winners for the Toilet Bowl and Kai Noah Bowl. I am so excited to announce that. And not only that, we have our semifinals going on here. We will have our official contenders for the Glory Bowl and be able to talk more about them in an in-depth analysis. Let's get right into it. I will see you all soon. This is Benjamin D. Dover signing out. Thank you. What is going on, fantasy football fans? It is Tuesday, December 26th, and we have our results for the National Fornication League semifinals and the 2 bowl games that took place, the Toilet Bowl and Kai Noah Bowl. Let's get right into it. Sit down, relax, and ladies and gentlemen, we have a show for you leading up to our amazing league championship Glory Bowl. Let's roll it. Before we get into our 2 bowl games, which finished by rail thin margins, let's talk about our semifinals here in the big championship game. We're going to see who goes to the Flaky Fiesta Bowl and who goes to that glorious Glory Bowl. Let's look at it. Bam! We got Cue Ball beating Vishal. This game was way closer than we thought, so big props to Vishal. We are very excited to be watching your team in the Flaky Fiesta Bowl. Unfortunately, Brock Purdy took a shit on his team, and that cost him to lose the game. Let's drop down a little bit. We got Johnny beating Owen by, big margins there. Congratulations to Johnny. He is going to the Glory Bowl for the 2nd straight year. Let's see if he can get the job done this year. Owen will be advancing, or devancing, to the Flaky Fiesta Bowl, playing for the top 3 spot. These are going to be exciting matchups. Couldn't be a better Glory Bowl. Couldn't be a better Flaky Fiesta Bowl. We have the 3-1 competing and the 4-2 competing. Let's drop down to the consolation bracket. I know we don't talk about this much on the broadcast, but it needs to be covered because we got some amazing games, some amazing coaches, and some amazing looking teams here. We have the overall journey to the consolation championship game, the Tampax Bowl, and for the first time in the league's history, the Tampax Bowl will be played between 2 former champion coaches. We have Darren, who won in 2021, and Rohan, who won last year in 2022. Both of them seem to, early on, dominate their opponents in the semifinals, but as you can see, Ayush made a pushback, almost won the game, but unfortunately came up just short. Rohan will be advancing to the Tampax Bowl. We go down. Darren absolutely blew Thomas out of the water. His team has been red hot. lightning hot this entire playoff run, and I'm so excited to be watching his team in this Tampax Bowl. Now, I know what you people want. You want to hear, you want to feel the emotion for these coaches going into the Tampax Bowl. Well, we secured a Zoom interview with each one, so let's get right into it.
What is going on, Coach Rohan? First off, I just want to congratulate you on being such a decorated coach. I mean, 2021, you make the Glory Bowl. Unfortunately, you lose, but the next year you go back and you win the whole thing, and now here you are in another championship game. Although it is a consolation championship, it seems your team has just been incapable of losing in these championships. So, like, how are we feeling going into this bowl? Like, does it feel any different, or is this kind of just normal for you because you've been so great over the years in the games like these?
How pumped am I for the Tampax Bowl? Man, words can't even describe how pumped up I am. You know, like, you know, we won the championship last year. Now we got to win the only other championship left there is to win, which is the glorious Tampax Bowl itself.
I mean, there's no denying you're a great coach, but is there anyone else to thank for your position here this year? And also, I want to remind you that when you lost that 2021 championship, it was against Darren. So how's it going to feel stripping that title away from him this year and kind of getting take-backsies for him winning it all over you in 2021?
You know, I don't have a lot of people to thank for where I am, you know. My team really let me down a lot of the year, but I'm glad I could sneak my way into this little bowl game right here and have the boys play for something, show some heart, you know. And, yeah, you know, if it wasn't for my parents, you know, I'd like to give them a shout-out for getting me to this point. I'd like to give a shout-out to myself, you know. Felt like I drafted a pretty good team, and feel like we're ready to win this Tampax Bowl. Yeah, would like to bring this a little consolation championship home for the boys, and yeah, hopefully not lose to Darren again in a playoff game.
All right, Darren, how are we doing? I mean, when you think of dominant postseason runs in the National Fornication League, you cannot have a conversation without bringing up your historic 2021 season where you won the Glory Bowl and had the best record the league has seen up into Cue Ball's run this year. How are you feeling going into this Tampax Bowl? This is the second straight year you have missed the playoffs, but you've made it as far as you can in the consolation bracket. Do you plan on taking it home?
And I just wanted to say I'm super, super excited to be participating in the consolation championship of this league, the Tampax Bowl. What an honor this really is.
No, of course. But is there anyone to thank besides yourself?
I'd like to give a few shout-outs to, you know, my parents, to Amari Cooper. I couldn't have made it here without them. So, without further ado, keep penetrating. Let's go, come in my bunker.
Wow, what amazing, insightful interviews. I know I am excited, and I know you at home are excited to watch these two great managers face off to see who will be the first in league history to win a Glory Bowl and a Tampax Bowl. No matter who wins this matchup, we have history on our hands. And speaking of history, the 13-1 Juggernaut Cue Ball has advanced to the Glory Bowl. He has the opportunity to put a Glory Bowl championship on the top of a historical season that he is having. Good luck, Johnny. Good luck, Hugh. We're going to be talking more about that in a few. But let's talk about these bowl games. First off, we're going to talk about the Kainoa Bowl. This was played in the major bracket. This was played between the 5-seed Spencer and the 6-seed Tim. Initially, it was looking like the game was going to go to Tim. Then, Spencer rallied back and won in a big way. Still, the game finished in rail-thin margins with a Deebo Samuel catch, putting the nail in the coffin for Tim, unfortunately. But Spencer, congratulations on winning that Kainoa Bowl. Now we got our last place game, the Toilet Bowl, played between two utterly dog shit opponents, Audie and Nate. Nate lost the game again by pretty thin margins. He started Taysom Hill, put up 0.2 points. Cincinnati's defense let Mason Rudolph score a shit ton of points against them. They scored 0 in fantasy full PPR. It was overall just a terrible matchup, summed up the Toilet Bowl perfectly, but Nathan ended up losing this game still, and he is going to be the last place participant in the league this year. What a fall from grace. But hey, he is at the studio right now, and we are going to conduct an in-person interview in the studio right now with him right here. Let's get right into it. So, Nate, in 2020, your team won it all. In the first year of the league's foundation, they won the whole Glory Bowl. Next year, you guys lost in the Flaky Fiesta Bowl. The next year, you lost in the Flaky Fiesta Bowl again. So what does it feel like having a team that has just been floundering and to have this terrible, terrible, awful, utterly horrible season to cap it all off? Do you think your team will get any better? Do you guys think you're just going to keep underperforming in these bowl games? It seems like your team is incapable of winning games when it matters in the playoffs. What do you have to say about that?
Well, do you want me to be honest?
Yeah, be honest.
Well, honestly, I think you're a fucking asshole.
Alright. Alright, without further ado, let's get more into this Glory Bowl analysis. Here is your official manager analysis going into the official Glory Bowl. Alright, so here it is. We have the 3 seed Johnny going up against the 1 seed Q. As you can see, Q has the edge in overall coaching experience pretty significantly. 11 years of coaching under his belt as to Johnny's 4 seasons of coaching. His 2023 record is really where you see the experience pay off with the 13-1, which I've already mentioned before, the best record the league has ever seen. He's been on a 13-game winning streak, not counting the playoffs. He has not lost in a very, very, very long time. Many, many months. We look at that point differential, plus 455.14 points. That is the biggest point differential the league has ever seen as well, nearly doubling Johnny's entire point differential. But we can see when we go down to the career record segment, although having less years of overall coaching, less years on the field, Johnny has been more successful with the time that he has had coaching, with a 37-27 record with a 5.78 win percentage. Not only that, in the 3 full seasons Johnny has played as a coach, he has placed top 3 in 2 of them with a 2nd place finish last year. So this is not his first rodeo when it comes to the Glory Bowl. So overall, despite seeing all those stats at the top, I think we have a pretty even matchup here. Despite Q's team just being so good, we could have Johnny's team show up here. He is overall a really, really good coach, and I think both of these guys seriously deserve to be here, and this could not be a better Glory Bowl matchup for us all to enjoy. Alright fans, the next time you will be hearing from me will be the official Glory Bowl broadcast. I look forward to that heavily. We're going to be hearing more about the personal life stories of our 2 contenders. It's going to be a very fun thing for you all to enjoy. I am Benjamin D. Dover signing out here. You all have a good night. Thank you very much.